getting my day started. I woke up really early today, and I spent on Facebook a lot, just kind of flushing out some insights. I got some errands to run, and I was just like, I need a little more energy than what I have. I've been making soap, doing a lot, so I'm gonna do a matcha latte, but it's gonna be a mudslide, and I'll tell you why in a second. Oh, there it is. So I have I like to get the mousse trio from Whole Foods, and it's just like a layer of like it's like chocolate fudge brownie with a chocolate mousse and a white mousse on top. And so I ate that last night, but I didn't quite finish it. And you all know me, I hate to waste things. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've never did this, but I'm just going to take the mousse trio and again, the brownie on the bottom. So that'll be a little, like a mudslide, or almost even like a white Russian, but I'm going to do a white Russian upload when I have the right ingredients for that. I'll go all out with that. So basically I'm just boiling some water now, just getting the water boiled on the pot and everything. And I'm going to throw in some eucalyptus in there. As you all know, I love to do that. And again, this is going to be a mudslide matcha. I haven't done this one before. So we're just going to find out how it turned out together. I don't know how the mousse is going to melt or if it's going to break up or, whatever, especially if it has any citrus in the mousse, which I don't think it should, but any citrus or anything. But again, yesterday I did my upload. I ran out of my vanilla creamer. So we're just going to go ahead and work with this. I'm going to throw a little herbs from Provence in there with the marjoram, thyme, lavender, basil, parsley, tarragon, sage. So I really like this because of the sage and lavender. A little extra fresh basil for exorcism too, with the times that we're dealing with. You can't have enough basil and oregano to get rid of bacteria, infections, disease. Basil and oregano. Little pumpkin spice and cinnamon I'm going to garnish my chalice with. So we're going to get this started here. Put some cinnamon in the chalice. And some pumpkin spice. Getting powdery. And the pumpkin spice, again, has cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom. All of the excellent ingredients that I love to use. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, I have a white rose petal for the final garnish that I like to use. And since the water's boiling now, the eucalyptus is releasing. Just gonna stir it up so the eucalyptus boils a little bit longer and add a little more water because I just want the eucalyptus to steep for a couple more minutes. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. Happy hump day. I just woke up really feeling like a strong energy of talking about, the black man's role in making the dark-skinned woman, feel ugly, feel inadequate. The more so the black man's role in elevating black women, protecting black women, providing for black women, and how black men actively abandon that role for what's easy, which is white women. White women are already spoken for. White women are a symbol of power. White women are the easiest way that a black man can feel superior, knowing that he's inferior to white men who are ruling, who have conquered him, who make decisions, who determine how he works, where he works, his livelihood, these different things. Black men opt out of protecting and providing for Black women, which is the main way to get back at white men, and choose the easy route, which is finding a white girl to sleep with. And that's never getting back at white men. Some white men may be offended by it. Some white men, may become insecure at that. But a lot of white women use Black men to feel better about themselves. A lot of white women go with Black men because they are not the standard of beauty in their white society. And they know Black men like trash. They know Black men take other people's trash. They understand, to some extent, that Black men are programmed from slavery, that during slavery, Black people literally had to eat the trash that white people threw away at us. The intestines of a pig, the anal canal, chitlins, the rubbish of the food that Black people, we learned how to cook with and do things with. And to this day, some cuisine that's considered Black or hood or soul food is directly related to the way we had to eat. It's no different now. The white man gives the Black man his trash, his leftovers, and that is including women. The white man pimps out his women to control Black men. The white man uses white women to control Black men, to control where his money goes, to control his sexuality, so he can control the offspring of the Black man and do what he wants with them. So I just woke up with like a strong urge to write, and be even a little more poetic and kind of talk about my experiences as a Black woman and, the lack of accountability. We need to put things we need to put interracial dating in its proper perspective. Interracial love, meaning a bird falling in love with a whale, is a phenomenon. People who have no ability to truly relate, who come from different habitats and different lifestyles, but can get along in a society that segregates you. A bird and they say like a bird and a fish can fall in love, but how will they cohabitate? And this is what we see in a lot of interracial relationships where, Black men choose white mothers for their children, especially these Black daughters I've seen suffer, that I have seen be abused. I've seen white women who have mixed children abusing the Black girl. I see it all the time. I see it in these interracial relationships. I see, and it's if it don't apply, let it fly. But we're going to stay on subject. A lot of these Black men are choosing white mothers for their daughters who the mother can't do the hair, cannot teach you the things about Black men that you may need to learn. If you turn out darker than the mother, how's she going to explain to you how to deal with colorism? When she is a wife because she's white, not because she can cook better or clean better or have sex better. And don't get me wrong, some Black men have chosen white women because they couldn't find eligible Black women. I know what that's like. I know what it's like for a Black man to feel like you cannot find eligible women in your race, because I feel like that every day. Yet, a Black man's privilege is to go find a white girl and be okay with it. Black women, we don't have that privilege, because if we go outside our race, we're dealing with that same male chauvinist burden. I want to put it in perspective to understand feminine principles and masculine principles. The Black woman is the only one who loses out and suffers. The Black man can disregard the Black woman and be okay and feel masculine. And yeah, he may have to deal with what he brings onto himself, which is white male racism. But is a Black woman protected by going with the white man? Does a Black woman get to just forget about Black men? No, because Black women prefer Black men. We have to settle. We are the ones who have to settle. The Black man is not suffering. Black women are. There are some dark-skinned men or Black men who speak up for Black women, who speak up for Black people. who are being censored, who are suffering, who can't find eligible women. But the burden is on the Black woman, not the Black man. Black man can go do whatever he wants to do, and he does, and it's obvious. The Black man can sell out Black women and get ahead in society, and that's what the majority of Black men do. So the revolution is on the Black woman. The Black man is not an active participant. There are some Black men who are, few and far between, but the revolution is the Black woman whose motherhood instincts are kicking in before the Black male's masculine instincts are, because all his masculine instincts are in the womb of the white woman. All his masculine instincts have been programmed by white male entertainment, mass media, American propaganda entertainment. Who's really suffering? It's not Black men. Black men have used their penis to, get ahead. Black men have figured out, I can be the prostitute, I can be the whore, I can prostitute myself to white society and get ahead, and abandon Black women and leave Black women to figure out how they're going to prosper on their own. And when Black women have to go to white men to prosper, when we are forced to have to, do the same thing Black men do to us, abandon the revolution, abandon the race, and go get the help that we need from white people, then we're ridiculed. But the reality of it is Black men are forcing us, because you all will not get your shit together, and you all know you're inferior. That's why you date white women. That's why you date light-skinned women. You date what you think is easy. And you know that light-skinned women deep down feel these insecurities, feel some of them. And I wouldn't even say necessarily most light-skinned women. I would say, maybe it's just me, but there are a lot of women who are light-skinned who are revolutionary and pro-Black. But I will say this. A lot of light-skinned women are okay with being chosen for being light-skinned. A lot of light-skinned women are actively okay with knowing that they are being chosen because they're white, or because they're light or half white or white, because they hate Black women too. They wish they were Black women. They hate Black women. They want to see Black women separated because they want their cake and eat it too. You want to get all the glory from Black men, but you don't want to have to face Black women who you are causing pain and suffering. So you can sit pretty and think that you're better than us because you got chosen, because you were easy and you have no other substance. You're okay with being an object, a trophy. And you're not gold, you're not diamond. You are an object, and you're okay with being an object. And Black women, there's a lot of Black women who see that and objectify themselves, because Black women get that objectifying yourself is the quickest way to get a Black man to love you. Objectify yourself, be obese, be ugly, be overweight, have long eyelashes, have fake nails, have fake hair, self-hatred, listen to rap music and indulge in all that. And that's how you get a Black man to love you. Have a big ass. And these are the things that white women see. So they go get their plastic surgery and go start listening to hip hop, and they do all these things that they see Black men go for. And they know that they will get a Black man because you're acting Black, but you're white. And that's the main thing in getting a nigger. Listen to hip hop music, watch hip hop music, see how these programmed men behave, watch sports and entertainment, see how these men behave, and act like that. And so now you have a whole history and legacy of hip hop music that has been taken over by white supremacy, and now hip hop music is Black men with white women. And it has been like that for the last decade. The fact that enough Black women aren't speaking about it, but have just actively chosen to be lesbian or marry white or or deal with Latino men, or basically be single and be single mothers, because no one loves Black women. No one will protect Black women. We are nothing but trash. And it's all about the Latino women. It's all about hip hop and everything, So, I just think that I'm sick of not seeing enough people talk about it, because right now we're in a time of genetic warfare. We're in time of genetic warfare and censoring, and enough Black people, least of all Black men, and there are some few and far between, but least of all Black men are not going to war by elevating the Black woman. You are elevating the white man's weapon, his woman. So when I say the Black man is inferior, the whole world knows it. The whole world sees that Black men will put down his woman and elevate the white man's weapon and openly castrate himself, because it's easier than being a man. Black men want what's easy because Black men do what's easy. It's not easy to conquer a race that was once superior. Now is it? See if Black men can conquer white men the way white men conquered and dismantled your whole legacy of superiority on this planet. See if you can elevate Black women back to the standard that white women have been elevated in our communities. White men don't elevate white women like that. Black men do. There's a lot of white men who have a lot of positive things to say about Black women because they're sick of dealing with their women, or because they've always liked real women. We need to stop acting like the Black man does not have a huge responsibility before the Most High. And the things that are happening right now, what I can see, I hope people really start to take themselves seriously. Take your spirituality seriously, your relationship with the Most High seriously, and your relationship with Black people seriously, because this is a genetic marker. And I don't see a lot of white people talking about we need to learn from Black people how to survive these situations that we put Black people in, that Black people have been in, being underprivileged and disenfranchised. I don't see white people talking about that, but you will see a bunch of white people coming and seeking assistance and help and healing from the Black people who are able to survive and flourish and thrive in dire circumstances. If you do not have your spirit intact, you're gonna end up helping your enemy, helping Satan, because a lot, like I said, I've already seen some brothers get up here and start talking about I'ma defend my white friends against any Black person, this and that. I ain't seen not a damn white person say that about that brother who was talking about you all up on YouTube saying this and that, talking about solidarity. I ain't seen Nan Cracker get up there and say, I'm going to defend my Black friends. I'm going to defend my friend because against these racist white people. You ain't going to see it either. Because white people is out for themselves, and you got stupid niggers out here all blasting to the world how stupid and inferior they are by the women that they choose, by the things that they say, by the company that they keep. So I just want to remind Black people, be smart about your shit and be spiritual. If you have a spirituality and a moral compass, you already looking at people based on color. You're already able to see beyond color and character. So it should be nothing to talk about the fact that the world is colorist. It doesn't make you colorist. It makes you brave to tell the truth. So stop being silent because you're afraid of being called racist or sexist or angry Black feminist or angry Black man or this or that, or because you're being afraid to be called a nigger lover or whatever, by not speaking up for what's happening in the Black community, in the Black race. So here I'm just going ahead and throw on the mousse, and it looks like it's breaking up really well. It's not clumping up or anything. Sometimes I wonder. But one thing I do want to throw on that I forgot is vanilla. I'll throw a little vanilla on. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna, the mousse is working out well. Very nice. Just simple eggs, milk, flour, maybe. Probably not flour, but mousse is probably just mostly like egg white. And there, and I'm just gonna put the rest on, let the mousse kind of cream up the matcha. And again, I'm stirring it because it's like a latte. I'm just kind of steaming and frothing the mousse and everything as it melts off. And then the rest of the brownie, it'll just kind of be in there. Hopefully it'll break up a little bit. And I could just leave the brownie there, but I'll tell y'all what we're working with. Alrighty. See how it's frothing up and everything. Looks delicious. Sweet, creamy. I can't even find the brownie anymore. It looks like the brownie did break up. Oh, there it is. There's the brownie in there too. I wanted it to break up a little bit, but I might just, and see it's frothing up, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it in the chalice. I could even add a little bit more water. I'm going to go ahead and get it in the chalice. Get it in there. So first, I'm actually going to take the brownie part and put it in the chalice because I want that to keep the chocolate flavoring of it. And it did break up a little bit. The brownie did. So I'm just going to put all of the brownie points. And that's another thing I need to talk about, brownie points. I'm just going to take a little more filtered water and add it. So, brownie points, that's another thing where, in elite societies, some things have double entendres, double meanings. So I want people to understand occult symbology and science and the signs and symbols and terms that they use. It came to me that brownie points is something that in the occult they use to, when you can get a black person to be in subjugation to you, like in slavery, you get brownie points within your fraternity, within these secret society occult fraternities. Or it don't even have to be secret. It could be some of these regular ones. But they, I know that a lot of them have a base of like being a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, doing community service, helping out, things like that. But some of the more occult fraternities are directly related to eugenics and genetics and programming society, controlling society, and controlling black people. And when you for example, say a white woman drops her purse intentionally, or she's in the grocery store and she drops something intentionally, and she doesn't have a purse, she's not carrying anything, she just dropped it, and she's perfectly capable of picking it up herself, but she sees a black man there or a black woman, and she says, "Can you get that for me?" Literally, will stand there like this with her hands, just like looking pretty. She's perfectly capable of bending down. She's not injured or anything. But she drops something and does like this and says, "Can you get that for me?" Some of you going to act like you don't know what I'm talking about, these situations where white people, they could be people in the workplace, mostly in these corporate workplaces. Do they do these formations? And what I'm talking about is a formation of white supremacy to keep black people in check, to keep black people in that slave formation, to keep you in check, to see where your spirit is, how rebellious your spirit is against white supremacy. So when you see these things in public and asking a black person to you're basically testing that person's spirit to see whether they're rebellious revolutionary, or whether they are in that program where you as a white woman can tell the black person to do something that you can do for yourself, and then they do it because they're so programmed to put white women first or to put white people first. These are brownie points. These are secret society thing, like these are formations that occur. Getting black people to cut off their hair. Another thing you'll see is when a white woman may come between two black people talking, especially if it's a black man or a black woman. They always want to put white women in between the black man and the black woman because they know that the black man is weak and inferior and will most likely allow that formation to occur, allow the white woman to put a wedge between him and the black woman because he is programmed to respect and protect the white woman for the master and to reject the black woman. So she is vulnerable to be raped by the master. She has no protection because the black man is too busy being possessed by white femininity. Where does that leave the black woman? Vulnerable to be raped. At what point are we going to hold black men accountable for what's happening to black women? I know a lot of black women don't care because you're light and you got a black man and you got all, I'm saying. I'm just keeping it real as Black High Priestess. And my whole point in being here. At what point are we going to hold the black man accountable for what white people, what is allowed to be done to the black woman? How are black men not accountable for the fact that the majority of single, sexy, beautiful black women are single? Some single mothers, which makes it even worse, but single nonetheless. Why? Why are black men afraid of black women? We're not talking about it. No one is talking about it. Because a lot of you sisters who are in this and getting into spirituality and doing all this stuff, you're not really connected to the source. You're not connected to the Iyami. You're not connected to the mothers, the sacred mothers. And you're really not connected to the Most High Father either. So you don't have the power and the bravery and the wisdom to speak on our race topics, to call out the black man for what he is, inferior. You don't have it in you. You don't have it in you to demand what you deserve from black masculinity. You don't have it in you to ridicule black masculinity instead of, oh, boo-hoo, black men are oppressed. No, the fuck they're not. Black men are openly sleeping with white women. How are they oppressed? Honorable Elijah Farrakhan Muhammad said with his agent's ass, the last trick the white man would play on the black man is to give him his woman. To this day, there is no revolution because black men said, I got what I need. Like a man, he get his, don't worry about what the women need. The black man is inferior. He got what he needed. He got his ability to sleep with white women. He didn't even earn it himself. White men gave you his woman so he could take over rap music, and you guys accepted it. The black man is responsible for the black woman's suffering. The black man openly abandons his responsibility because he only cares about himself. The revolution is black women doing what we need to do for us and ours. The black man has abandoned you, black woman. I'm speaking to real black women who know what I mean. Not you black women who are disconnected, who don't understand the black woman's pain. I'm talking to my sisters. The real women of power who understand what is happening on this planet, why we are here on this planet, why we are feared, because we're real. Why is the black man afraid of the black woman? Black men, ask yourself that, because a lot of you, some of you go around talking pro-black and this and that, but when it comes time to be with the black woman and date a black woman, some of you have reservations that a man should have. You want to test things out. You want to see what's going on. But the majority of black men are afraid of black women because you are inadequate. You cannot protect, you cannot provide, you don't have any stability, you don't have what you need. And you know that a white woman is easy. At the end of the day, she can go back to white society and be taken care of. So there's no responsibility to that woman when you get with her. But the black man, when he gets with the black woman, he knows in his genetics there's a responsibility that he himself does not want and cannot fulfill. So he goes and gets with a woman who he's not accountable to. The black man is inferior. And it's not going to change until black women start admitting it and holding him accountable for it. You cannot hold a man accountable for his inferiority while you're calling him a king. I am not here to lie. I'm here to tell the truth and create revolution. And there's only one way to create revolution. Make the black man be accountable or destroy him. Let him know he has no place in the future. If it don't apply, let it fly. But the problem is it does. And a lot of you all, you want to stay in a comfortable silence because you don't want to accept and face the truth about black people. We want to talk about white people and their racism and their hatred and their envy, but we don't want to talk about white people's superiority. We don't want to talk about their supremacy. We don't want to talk about why they're still in power. We want to blame them for being better and loving themselves enough and having the manhood to protect their women from black men's pursuits and to protect their sovereignty with organizations. I'm not saying that black people, we don't have organizations. I'm just saying every time we do, they get infiltrated by white women that black men let in, or they get infiltrated by white government money that black men let in. The revolution has always failed as long as black men have been leading it. The only revolution has been at the hands of black women. Yeah, you got Tucson, I know. You got Tucson, I know. All right. But at the end of the day, it's the black woman's root work that has created a revolution. Black women, you all don't know your worth because black women collectively have not held a black man accountable and abandoned black man the way he has openly abandoned us. No, it's not all black men. It's just the ones that are actually eligible that are taking this white money from white people. And because they're accepting money from these white people and they have more social status, they don't have control over how they keep their livelihood. And a lot of these black men want to keep their livelihood, so they stay silent about black issues. Just saw Sir Killington of Colorstruck on YouTube. He's been doing YouTube for damn near 10 years. And he has less than 1,000 subscribers for a decade. Why? Because he talks about colorism and how it affects black women, how it affects him. But these YouTubers who get up there all ignorant, yuck mouth, slack jaw, can't hardly speak proper English, sound ignorant and stupid, can get millions of subscribers when they are not talking about anything that has an ability to make a difference in our race. They're just ignorant niggers who sound like slaves, who maybe say a good thing here or there. Peace Sosa 13. I'm seeing you. The Black Panthers were infiltrated by a swirling woman who laid down with a literal agent. Yeah, well, you know, what happened before that? You know, what about the black men who let these white women in? And then you wonder why black women do it. You mistreat black women and do this, and then you wonder why black women sell out black men. You know, it's so easy to point out the few and far between black women who are doing what they have to do to survive the inferiority of our race. The Black Panther, you know. Wow. I just want to show y'all Mudslide Matcha. I want to come in here and show y'all nature, the Mudslide Matcha here. So we got basil, some sage, lavender, oregano, eucalyptus, vanilla. I forgot to throw in a little black pepper. And some white and chocolate mousse, which is kind of goes good with, as I'm talking about colorism and how you see that the white mousse was on top and the black, that you know, when I started with the upload, that's the problem. And that's what I want to address in this particular upload, the Mudslide Matcha. It's fun. It's just it's like there's black, there's white, and then there's green, which is money. And so this Mudslide Matcha, I guess, is kind of talking about how money, prosperity, wealth, real wealth is the only way to. I can't. It's not the only way, but it's the determining factor. The wealth gap. That's what keeps black people inferior. The more we support each other and love each other and relate to one another and mate with one another and build families through nation building, our revolution is not being televised, but it is active and it is happening. And what you're seeing now is the first signs of it not being televised, but the world changing, and the fact that black people are prospering right now. It's not being televised. So again, Mudslide Matcha. White is always on top and black is always on bottom. Don't let that be in your life. Don't be that person who goes around and victimizes black women, because it's easy to victimize a black woman because you know that black men are not there to stand up for her. Okay? You know that black men are programmed. Don't be that person who dates for color instead of character. Don't be that person who wants to be so socially acceptable that you date somebody who you're going to end up hating after the baby comes or after you have sex or whatever, because you don't really relate to them other than the fact that they make you look good in public around your friends and your family or whoever. You know, don't be that sister who doesn't demand the respect that you deserve, who mitigates your natural beauty and intellect and power because you want to be accepted by a world who will never accept you as long as you're being your natural black self. This world will never accept you. Satan will never accept you. You are a threat to Satan. You see, the black man may be the biggest threat to society, but the black woman is the biggest threat to Satan, because the black woman has the ability to wake the black man up and remember what his role is. But right now, the black man is working for Satan. And that has caused a lot of other black women to be the devil's playground too. Don't be that white guy who goes around and never shows gratitude for your privilege, or you know, never humbles yourself to the Most High and thinks about what can I do as a person who has white privilege. What have I done? Or do I just relate to black men so I can feel better about myself, or you know, get some black pussy, you know what I'm saying, or you know, feel more popular? But am I gonna be there when my black friends are really suffering racism? Am I gonna speak up for it? Am I gonna speak up for it when they're not around because I really mean it? Don't be that white chick who accepts being elevated when you have nothing to offer. Don't be that white chick who accepts being treated a certain way just because you're white and because you represent something to black men. Just because you don't be that white woman who allows yourself to be used as a pawn in the war between the black man and the white man. Don't be that white woman who allows to be used as Satan's pawn in segregating black men and black women. Just because you want to feel better about yourself. Just because you want to believe that you're better than black women. Which most of you white women do. A lot of you white women, deep down inside, you believe you're better than black women. And a lot of the ones who do are not necessarily with black men. They'll fuck a black man to prove a point to a white woman, to prove a point to a black woman. But you know, there's a vast majority of white women out here who genuinely believe they are better than black women in every way, believe that they're superior, and believe, you know, black women are ignorant and lowly and all, you know, they treat us like little girls and stuff. And they don't know how to take direction or instruction or wisdom from black women. They think that they're better than us, and they think that our men hate us for a good reason. They think that the things that black men tell these white women about black women to get in their pants are true. Don't be that white woman. Don't go around here being that person who allows yourself to be used by Satan by being superficial and treating other people bad, you know, just because of the New World Order agenda. Just because you want to be accepted by the New World Order. All right, thank you for listening. Listen, learn, like, subscribe. Go ahead and press the subscribe button, follow. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Mudslide, Matcha, chat. Peace and love.